what is meant by disease. So now, first is volume 1 maybe volume 2 this chapter is there, yeah?
No, in volume 2.
It is volume 2, this is volume 1. Volume 2 hai. Just keep telling me the topics. First topic?
Health and its failures.
Health and
It's failure.
health. Then we talk about the definition. Next is we are going to talk about the definition, personal and community issues. We are going to talk about personal and community issues. Okay, first of all, let us talk about this word, health. Q.
Volume issue.
Volume का issue तो problem volume का issue नहीं है, issue is use all three sitting together. ये issue है. हाँ? क्या वो कौन सा बड़ा सेलिब्रिटी है जो तुम उसके साथ ही बैठना है तुमको इधर आओ?
No, my volume is with him.
क्यों? Your volume is with him. Why? That's a big question. Why? Because he asked. तुम क्यों नहीं लाए? तुम क्यों नहीं वॉल्यूम लाए?
Volume 1 लाया.
तो तुमने उसका वॉल्यूम लेके अपना आराम से तुम बैठ गए.
मैंने सुन लिया जेल वॉल्यूम.
So simple it is. So simple.
तू तेरा वॉल्यूम ले निकल. बैठो जरा तेरा वॉल्यूम ले.
You three are not supposed to sit together. There's enough space. आराम से बैठो so that you are in a position to write. Notebooks आगे करो सब लोग. No, I want to ये second volume 2 चाहिए था. Volume 2 चाहिए. अगर है तो ठीक है, otherwise I'll manage from here. So first of all, we talk about health. What is the meaning of the word health? What do you understand by the word health? Now, if I have to talk about the word health, first of all, let us learn the definition of this word. Health is what? What is the meaning of health to you?
Our physical and mental.
Health, if I have to talk about the definition, the state of physical, mental, and social well-being. A state of physical, mental, social. Now, when I say physical well-being, what is the meaning of that? Physical well-being. Physical well-being when you are not suffering from any disease. There is no discomfort in your body. That is physical well-being. What is the meaning of mental well-being? Can you tell me? Mental health. When do you understand that you are mentally happy? Or when you are not mentally happy? Can you give me an example? Can you give me an example when you are not mentally happy?
When you feel sad or when you are depressed, that means you're not mentally fit.
Mentally happy. Say suppose now, today, your teacher in the class said something to you. Do we feel very excited about it? No, we feel bad. No, we feel bad. Or say suppose now today, this is happening in all of our houses. Say suppose now today your father, mother comes a little bit stressed and maybe there's a tussle at home. Do we feel happy about it? No, the environment of the house is a little bit tense. So that is what is mental disturbance. We all get mentally disturbed. So are you understanding that whenever there is a mental disturbance also, is there anything happening in our internal parameters? The internal functioning of the body में कुछ होता है disturbance की सब कुछ normal रहता है. When you are mentally disturbed, say suppose today your father has scolded you a lot, you are feeling bad about it. खराब लगता है कि खुशी होती है. खराब लगता है. That is normal.
Mentally लगता है.
हाँ, जब तुमको mentally disturbance हो रहा है, always understand there are some physical disturbance also that is side by side happening. But maybe for that we don't have to go to a doctor, run to a doctor, go for some hospitalization, we have some medicine. But how disturbance hoti hai? Say suppose today with your best friend you had a big argument and you are depressed about it, you are sad about it. The entire जो physical जो processes है उसकी वजह से इफेक्ट होता है. So now mental health के ऊपर physical health भी dependent होता है. When we are talking about, we may not suffer from any cough, cold, flu at that time, or no viral infection at that time, of course, but the blood pressure would go a little bit high. There will be loss of appetite. There will be loss of appetite, and then internal processes. Quite a number of times we don't feel the normal appetite for food, the normal cycle of sleep. So all these things get disturbed. You also must have experienced sometime or the other all these things, you know. So now when we are talking about mental health, social well-being, social health का क्या मतलब है? When are we not socially happy? Or when we are not in a state of social health, बता सकते हो? So mental, I say, try to differentiate between these two. When do you get mentally stressed? Maybe you have an exam, or your performance was not good, or for your behavior, or your parents, your teachers have told you something like this, when it is only centered around you. Mental stress. Social, when people around you are also associated in it. Social well-being. Maybe today in the morning you had a tussle with your neighbor, or maybe now or yesterday afternoon suddenly your neighbor from the top they started pouring water, and then your entire balcony got wet. So these are normal things we come across. You are not able to take out your car early morning when the other person has parked it wrong, or you are coming out and then you get to see so much of garbage that your neighbor has kept. You enter the classroom and then your friends have created some problem for you, etc., etc. When the surrounding, people in the surrounding, social, when we talk about social well-being, that means it's not only centered with us, but people surrounding us are also responsible for creating some stress in us. At that time also, now that you are arguing, or now that you are getting late for something, now that you are not happy in the classroom because of your friends, or etc., etc., what's happening? Yes, the internal processes are getting disturbed a little bit. So that is why. So now, it is not only a condition that it is not only a condition that when we are not suffering from any disease, we are healthy. Yes, I may say that when we are not suffering from any physical condition, what should be the correct word that I use? I would say that whenever we are not suffering from any infection, pathogen infections, or any type of a deficiency, etc., etc., I would say that we are disease-free. But can we say that we are healthy? Perhaps not. Can we say that we are healthy? Perhaps not. So now, whenever we are talking about what is the difference between disease-free and healthy, can you tell me one difference? When I talk about disease-free and healthy, the concept is that when I understand disease-free would be
When we don't have any
disease-free would be when we don't have any infection. And what would be the meaning of health? When we are not having any, or when we are having both physical, mental, as well as social well-being. But for disease-free, are we talking about the social and the mental parameter? We are not talking about the social and the mental parameter at all. So let us write down the first difference. Let us write down the first difference. Take out your note. Take out your notebook. The first difference that we are going to write down would be, write one difference between health and disease-free. Write one difference between healthy and disease-free data. Write one difference between healthy and disease-free. Make a column. Points to write difference between healthy and disease-free. Difference between healthy and disease-free. Make a column. Under healthy you write. Under healthy you write. Two differences to write. Difference between healthy and disease-free. Difference between healthy and disease-free. Under healthy likho. Make a column. Under healthy. Under healthy, you write a condition of physical, mental, and social well-being. Condition of physical, mental, and social well-being. Healthy, under healthy.
What can
A condition of a condition of physical, social, and mental well-being. That will be under healthy. Under disease-free, you write a condition of physical well-being of the body. Condition of physical well-being of the body. Condition of physical well-being of the body. Got all of you? Got it, all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, next is second point. What is the second point that you're going to write? Under healthy. Under healthy. Under healthy, you write no specific disturbance or changed functions. No specific disturbance or changed functions in the body. Or changed functions in the body. Under disease-free, you write. Under disease-free, you write no specific infection or deficiency. No specific infection or deficiency, but some body processes may be irregular. Some body processes may be irregular because of mental and social disturbance. Because of mental and social disturbance. Dikha, did you write? So try to understand the basic difference now, that whenever we are talking about a concept of health means there is no difference in the body functions, digestion, excretion, circulation, etc., etc. There is no change in the body function because we are already stress-free also. There is no mental stress, there is no social stress. At the same time, there is no physical disturbance, no infection, no deficiency, etc. So is it common that we come across a condition like disease-free or healthy? In a population, which one you will come across more? Are we very commonly going to come across people who are actually healthy? Difficult, no? People who are actually healthy. Now, if I say, is it possible that we all in this room, are we all healthy? Maybe not. I know I'm not. You also know you're not. Because there is so much of stress going on. I have to do this, I have to do this. Mental stress is so much. No? So now, if that is there, then I understand. Because of this mental stress, appetite is not there. I'm not able to take adequate amount of the food. I'm not getting adequate amount of sleep. So if I'm not getting adequate amount of sleep for 2-3 days, is that going to create an impact on my health? Yes. So yes. But can we say that we all are disease-free here right now? Yes, we all are disease-free here right now. We go to the next concept. Personal and community issues which may affect our health. Personal and community issues which may affect our health. Asha, we'll go to these points later. Just tell me 2 personal issues which may affect our health. I just want to know from you, what do you understand by this? two personal issues which may affect our health. I have the volume, so किसी के पास volume नहीं है, that is not a problem at all. The volume is here. Personal issue जिसकी वजह से हमारा health impact करता है, our health gets disturbed. Can you tell me? Two personal issues?
Like
Stress.
अच्छा, stress एक है.
own problem.
अब तुम्हारा problem मैं कैसे समझूं? Own problem मतलब क्या?
Personal problem.
अरे बाप रे.
Means study problem.
हाँ, तो कैसे problem? वो तो तुम बताओगे ना.
Health problem, study problem.
Personal issues that may affect our health.
And loneliness. Social.
Personal issues में social thing will not come. That comes in. हाँ, so when we are talking about कौन से common personal issues की वजह से our health may get impact or there may be a great impact on our health. I would say personal issues, चलो lack of exercise, is that correct? Lack of exercise की वजह से हमारा health disturb हो सकता है? Of course yes. Can you give me something?
More junk food.
हाँ, वो अपने ही बारे में बताते जा रहे हैं. हाँ, okay. Improper food. Community issues की वजह से हमारा health कैसे impacted होता है? How?
Like job problems.
Okay, ठीक है.
Ma'am, exam stress.
You are talking about us. Okay, job problems. Community issues. Okay, I talk about yourself also. Exam stress. एक और बहुत important point बता. I'm looking for that.
Smoking and weed.
हाँ, smoking or I would say pollution, accumulation of garbage, etc. No? So these are some of the common issues that we always come across. These are some of the common issues that we come across. Now let us just go through what your book says. First of all, we are talking about that what are some of the factors which are impacting our health. Factors which impact health. We are going to understand some personal and community issues. The first problem that we talk about is physical. Now here we are saying that physical factors, yes, they may impact our health. So यहाँ पे physical factors, apart from the concept of physical exercise and all, we are also talking about that there are so many physical factors which can affect our health. Physical factors can affect our health. Physical factors of the environment we are talking about, remember. I may say the temperature may be a factor which may affect our health. Moisture, humidity, moisture content may be a factor which may affect our health. Can you give me one example? Temperature affecting our health? कब? कैसे?
Climate change.
Climate change. See, so many people, when the temperature falls or the temperature rises, both ways, some of us, we may not have too much of a problem when the temperature is high, no? Something around now. But at this temperature, something around, say, suppose 34, 35, 38 degrees. Maybe we all are more or less accustomed to this temperature. But there are so many people at this temperature, they would start feeling very uneasy. They feel very uneasy. At the same time, will we be able to tolerate a temperature something around 8 degrees, 6 degrees? We are not used to. So in this area, since we have been living, so we are not used to a temperature something around 8 degrees, 6 degrees. But there are so many people who are used to that type of temperature right from birth. So for us, when the temperature falls to something around 12 degrees, we start having cough, cold, fever, because we are not used to that type of a temperature. When the sun is too bright for a longer part of the day, people start suffering from sunstroke, dehydration, and so many other problems. Moisture content में किसी को problem होती है? Yes, so many people start suffering from conditions like asthma, breathing problems होती है लोगों को. So when we are talking about the moisture content in the atmosphere, when we are breathing so much of water vapor, yes, some of us we may not be having any problem, but some people really do have a lot of problem. Physical factors. Second is we talk about the social environment. To some extent, we have been talking about this already. Social environment that affects our health. Social environment. Social environment that affects our health. Now, if we are talking about that social environment, when we talk about the environment around us, what type of an environment should be around us? a hygienic, a clean environment. But quite a number of times in small areas, small towns, remote areas, that may not happen. That may not happen. So is it not responsible for a large number of diseases that the people there suffer from? Yes. Is it not responsible for a large number of infections which spread so readily?
Yeah, but infections also spread from like hygiene also.
Improper hygiene. So maybe now when I talk about small towns, no, and then village setup, remote areas, they don't have so much of facilities, or they don't have enough space that they could maintain also the hygiene and the proper sanitation. And that's the reason people always keep on suffering from one or the other type of diseases. Forget about the mental stress and the community hygiene. Next is we talk about the public cleanliness, quite similar when we are talking about the public cleanliness. Public cleanliness, what do you understand? Can you give me two instances? कैसे हम public cleanliness maintain कर सकते हैं? How to maintain, bring about public cleanliness? कैसे?
Throw things on the road.
अच्छा, चलो, we should not throw any unwanted garbage or waste substance on the road.
There should be cleaners 24/7.
There should be
Cleaners.
cleaners
Yeah.
24/7. और तुम 24/7 गिराते रहो.
No, there should be a fine if someone throws it.
तुम गिराते हो कि नहीं गिराते हो?
But there's so much population, and how can the government say every year?
तो विवेक शुरू हो गया है. हाँ, so in our country we all keep on cribbing, no? ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा लोगों को हमारे देश में ये प्रॉब्लम है. Our country is so dirty. It's so easy to say that, but how much do we do? Did you ever analyze? How much are you doing to keep your country clean? वो कोई अपने आप पे पॉइंट नहीं करता fingers. I have seen so many times on this Palm Beach road, जो एक बहुत अच्छा clean road माना जाता है. People are moving in their cars and wrappers like birds, they are flying out of the cars and the windows. In big cars, people are moving with that much of sensibility. Just check. And these are the people who will say, our country is so dirty. So we ourselves have to take that responsibility, know that we are not supposed to. Now, I'm not saying that every time we have to pick up garbage from here or there. I'm not saying that. But we should not throw. That much so we can do. We should not throw waste, garbages in an improper place. Now see, all over the city, in most of the cities of the country, there are bins kept. What are the two types of bins kept?
Wet
Waste and dry waste. Still, you will see so many times the waste disposal also is not in a proper way. But why should this be something to be taken care about? क्यों? अगर हम ऐसे improper way में अगर garbage throw करते रहेंगे, किसी के हमारे society के कहीं पे भी हम रख देंगे, and then we would not mind putting in a proper place, किसी के भी सामने घर के सामने दरवाजे के सामने अगर रख देते हैं, and if the waste has not been cleared also properly from time to time, then what will happen?
Diseases will spread.
How?
Like there will be flies and all coming to like check the garbage.
There will be breeding of the different type of insects. Flies are there, which can transport those pathogens, germs from one region to the other so fast.
Yeah, like if
So
we drop
fast.
part of food, then lot of ants.
Say suppose now in the morning your mother has given some breakfast, nicely laid in the table, and maybe you just come another 2 minutes late, but by the time the fly has already tasted your breakfast, and वो एक second में whatever amount of germs that fly drops is enough to give you so many different type of infections. So काफी बार हम इतना track नहीं रख सकते. No, so many times we get to see that there's a fly or something there in our house, and we never know if at all our food or the water or the glass or the cup that we are using, did the fly ever invade those areas? We don't know. So what is the best thing that we have to do? Our surroundings जितना ज़्यादा हो सके. Of course, we always try to keep our house clean. वो हम सब करते हैं, no? But the surroundings of our house also should be clean. Otherwise, surroundings of our house, if it is dirty, that will be a breeding place for various different type of insects. Flies will be there, and it will be a depot of various different type of germs. Next is we talk about balanced diet. Balanced diet किसे कहते हैं? What is balanced diet?
When equal amount of nutrients are like present in a diet.
Equal amount?
Yeah. Like balanced amount.
Balanced amount. So I would say and adequate amount. No? Adequate amount. तो कौन-कौन से nutrients हमें खाना है? Adequate amount of nutrients. Adequate amount of nutrients. कौन-कौन से?
Protein, calcium.
Proteins. Proteins और carbohydrates और
Calcium.
अच्छा चलो minerals I will write और
Vitamins.
vitamins और
nutrients.
हाँ तो कैल्शियम इसमें आ जाएगा मिनरल्स में और क्या दो बाकी फैट्स नहीं खाना चाहिए व्हाई डू यू हेजिटेट टू से फैट्स नहीं खाना चाहिए और क्या इनएडिक्वेट अमाउंट जो हमें लेना चाहिए हर दिन कैलोरीज मारो इसको पकड़ के कैलोरीज मेरे क्लास में बात नहीं खाना and मम्मी सारा दिन बोलती रहती है every day she must be saying that
Dry fruits.
अरे तुम्हारी मम्मी बहुत ड्राई फ्रूट्स खिलाती है ना और कौन सा चीज हर दिन बहुत 8 to 10 ग्लासेस लेना ही चाहिए वाटर so now that we are talking about ये जो different types of nutrients है ये जो different type of nutrients है proteins what are proteins necessary for building our tissues every day the tissues are getting torn needs repair new type of cells has to grow for that protein carbohydrates क्यों to provide us with instant energy minerals क्यों vitamins क्यों to constantly build the cells of our body to constantly keep the functions of our body running minerals and vitamins so many from कहाँ से मिलेगा minerals and vitamins variety of fruits vegetables carbohydrate कहाँ से मिलेगा two sources बताओ फटाफट हर दिन हम खाते हैं carbohydrates कहाँ से मिलेगा राइस और रोटी पराठा एक्सेट्रा जो हम खाते हैं एंड प्रोटीन्स कहाँ से मिलेगा milk pulses dal chicken etc eggs etc and fats कहाँ से मिलेगा तुमको फैट्स की बहुत जरूरत है फैट्स कहाँ से मिलेगा egg yellow part और उससे ज्यादा part मिलेगा फैट्स नहीं कार्बोहाइड्रेट पोटैटो फैट्स कहाँ से मिलेगा इसने बोला ना इसको भी सीधा क्लास के
मैम मैंने नहीं
इसने बोला fats butter cheese अच्छा butter I would say of course we love to eat butter but a better option is ghee better option is vegetable oil okay but उससे भी ज़्यादा better is ghee in a small amount now it's a myth that we should not eat fats we should not eat fatty foods but the good quality fats in a smaller quantity every day we should eat so that our brain remains sharp our nerves remain in a functioning process our nerves should always be functional and the brain will remain sharp if you take good fat in a proper quantity पर उसका मतलब ये नहीं कि बायो टीचर ने बोला फैट से चार बर्गर एक साथ खा लो not that water to hydrate ourselves hydrate का मतलब क्या है to keep the amount of water in our cells adequate हमारे एक सेल के अंदर almost about 70% is just water
to keep our water level in our body
balanced so if I say that way if I have to talk about talk like you now I'm to understand the water level now if this is the height of your body what is the amount of the water level in your body your water level should be this much almost 70% of our body should be water तो उसके लिए at this age group minimum 8 to 10 glasses of water you should have to maintain the fluidity of the blood and allow the cells to show their functions properly. So balanced diet का मतलब क्या? Do you all take balanced diet?
No.
सोच के बताओ, झूठ नहीं बोलना.
No ma'am.
Do you all take balanced diet?
No ma'am.
बताओ exactly कैसे what type of food you generally eat?
Like get this one sabji, there's dal, there's some rice. For vitamins, there is a glass of milk after the meal, and in the meal for roughage, basically it is some like salad, and then there is roti.
Fruits, very good. तुम लोग खाते हो ऐसे?
Right.
तुम क्या खाते हो? Basically क्या खाते हो?
Super.
हाँ, सुबह शाम कभी भी. I'm not asking the routine. Normal food, what do you eat? Whatever she describes as balanced diet, yes.
I only eat junk food.
What you only do. Very good. Keep doing that. Your health shows that you are not eating proper food.
Ma'am, I eat a lot of food.
Lot of matlab kya? You may be eating a full rice, a full plate of rice. That's not a healthy food. Or you may be eating only proteins, or you may be eating only. Now that does not mean when I say that minerals and vitamins are there in fruits and vegetables. That also does not mean that we should eat a plate full of fruits in the morning, another plate full of vegetables for lunch. Yes, ma'am. इसीलिए तो yes ma'am दिख रहा है. You are eating too healthy and there is no carbohydrate and fats in your diet. So as I said, इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि if I say that fruits, again it is a myth that we should only eat a lot of fruits and vegetables, but उसके साथ साथ fats भी थोड़ा सा लेना चाहिए, उसके साथ साथ proteins भी adequate लेना चाहिए, उसके साथ साथ adequate amount of carbohydrates भी लेना चाहिए. Now why I am asking this is basically our Indian food is rich in carbohydrates first. At every meal, if you check,
In
our
fats
food is
also.
in fats also. So basically, हमारा food. That's why I have written protein सबसे पहले. बोलो.
So like basically should eat leafy vegetables, green vegetables, but like green leaf vegetables is like nothing but roughage, right?
Roughage. नहीं, roughage and lots of minerals.
So then it's not digested in our body, also quite a bit.
It's not digested in our body. That acts as a roughage. But roughage also is necessary because if the roughage is not there in adequate amount, the process of formation of the waste in the large intestine cannot happen. That is number one. And from this green leafy vegetables, we are getting adequate amount of minerals and vitamins. But हाँ, minerals and vitamins we get in trace amounts. इसीलिए हमको variety खाना है. Only one type of leafy vegetables. Say suppose I eat only cabbage or I eat only lettuce. No, that's not going to help me. So that's why I have to eat little other type of fruits also. तो ये तो हम एक दिन में नहीं खा सकते. That's why we have to plan. No, one day. So your mother, that's why plan. She must be planning the food. Monday को ये खाना, Tuesday को. So why variety? From every part of every type of fruits, vegetables, we get little of the vitamins and the minerals. But again, at the same time, we should not eat plate full of fruits only in the morning and plate full of vegetables only for the lunch and only some soup at night. No, of course, at this age group, no, because at this age group, unless and until you are not having any health issues, we should all eat a proper diet where protein should be maximum in our food. Every time the meal that we take, we should make it a point that the protein content should be more, followed by carbohydrate and then minerals and vitamins adequate quantity. As she said, we have to eat a variety of vegetables, fruits, but in small quantities. पूरा प्लेट भर के ये खाएंगे and no carbohydrate and protein in our diet, that is also wrong. Fat, yes, good fat, small amount. Water, adequate amount. To dissolve the waste, to bring about the process of digestion, etc., etc. Balanced diet. Now, one bit different type of a topic that we are talking about, but yes, that also contributes to health. Good economic condition. Now, can you justify how good economic condition would be associated with health? कैसे? Good economic condition के साथ health का क्या relation हो सकता है? हाँ, फटाफट 1 मिनट के लिए मैं सोचने देती हूँ. After that, give me a proper answer. When we are talking about good economic condition, how can health be associated with good economic condition? I say, good economic condition है तो health भी है. Good economic condition नहीं है तो शायद health भी नहीं हो सकता. Why like that? Few.
Maybe some like jobs. If you have like a good job, you have like good life, your mental health will be good. You have security of financial security.
Achha, let us talk on two grounds only. When I say good economic condition, matlab say suppose I talk about a family where economic condition you understand, adequate amount of the income which can allow the family to eat good, stay healthy, stay hygienic. Okay, so I'm talking about only these two issues right now. There are many. But let me just pick up only these two as per your age group. So I'm saying that if a particular family has adequate income, that family can afford good quality food
Yes.
and can maintain good hygiene.
Yes.
So if these two things, which are the basic things, if these two things are there, can this family get rid of a lot of diseases? Yes. Again, parallel, I'm also talking about another family where the economic condition is not very good enough. Maybe they cannot afford some type of these food, especially if you are aware, when I talk about vegetables and fruits, they are quite expensive. So when I'm talking about this, yes, if the economic condition is not very good, now the family is not able to afford quite a lot of these. That may result in deficiencies, and the children may suffer from some of the other diseases in the long run.
But they can try to keep themselves clean. And
हाँ,
their
hygienic-
hygiene and
hygienic-
the surroundings around the
Hygienic condition शायद they can maintain still, but ये जो deficiencies है, deficiencies may build up in their body. Quite a number of times, if I talk about those delayed setups, etc., economic condition इतना अच्छा नहीं है. That's the reason they are also not getting the best of the hygiene around. They are not getting the best of the sanitation around. So that's the reason also they may fall prey to various different type of infections. No? So these are the 6 points that you have to remember. Take one question as homework. Take one. No, this is already there in the volume. You don't have to write. Take one question as homework. Explain how balanced diet. Explain how balanced diet. Explain how balanced diet helps in maintaining our health. Explain how balanced diet helps in maintaining our health. Will you be able to write this in 2-3 sentences? Will you be able to write this in 2-3 sentences?
Yes.
Okay.
Helps in maintaining.
Explain how balanced diet helps in maintaining health. Okay. Continue. Try to complete this and read this part of the chapter 1 from your text.
Just need to